Life is a grand adventure full of opportunities waiting to be seized. Today, we're going to talk about something that can change your life forever. Working like you don't need the money. This might sound strange at first. After all, most of us work because we need money, right? But there's a profound wisdom in this approach that can transform not just your career, but your entire life. Think about it for a moment. When you work solely for money, you're putting limits on yourself. You're saying, I'm only here for the paycheck. But when you work like you don't need the money, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You start to focus on the value you can create, the skills you can develop, and the impact you can make. Now, I'm not suggesting you should ignore your financial needs. Of course not. What I'm proposing is a shift in mindset that can lead to greater success and fulfillment in your work and life. When you work like you don't need the money, you're free to pursue excellence for its own sake. You're motivated by the desire to do your best, to learn, to grow, and to contribute. This approach naturally leads to better results, which, ironically, often leads to greater financial rewards. Consider the most successful people in any field. They didn't get there by watching the clock or doing the bare minimum. They got there because they were passionate about their work. They were driven by a desire to excel, to innovate, to make a difference. They worked like they didn't need the money. And as a result, they ended up with both success and financial security. This mindset shift can be applied to any job, any career, any situation. Whether you're a teacher, a salesperson, an artist, or an entrepreneur, working like you don't need the money can transform your experience and your results. Let's say you're a teacher. If you're only there for the paycheck, you might do an adequate job, but you're unlikely to inspire your students or find much satisfaction in your work. But if you approach teaching as if you don't need the money, if you're there because you're passionate about educating young minds and making a difference in their lives, everything changes. You'll put more effort into your lessons, you'll connect more deeply with your students, and you'll find more joy and fulfillment in your work. And guess what? This approach is likely to lead to better opportunities, promotions, and yes, even higher pay in the long run. Or perhaps you're in sales. If you're only focused on making your quota and earning your commission, you might make some sales, but you're unlikely to build lasting relationships with your customers or find true success in your field. But if you approach sales as if you don't need the money, if you're genuinely interested in understanding your customers' needs and helping them find the best solutions, you'll build trust, create loyal customers, and likely surpass your sales goals. The same principle applies to entrepreneurship. The most successful entrepreneurs aren't in it just for the money. They're driven by a vision, a desire to solve problems, to create something new and valuable. They work tirelessly not because they're chasing dollars, but because they're passionate about what they're building. And more often than not, this approach leads to financial success as a byproduct of their dedication and innovation. Now, you might be thinking, that's all well and good, but I have bills to pay. I can't just ignore my need for money. And you're absolutely right. The bills don't go away just because we change our mindset. But here's the key. Working like you don't need the money doesn't mean pretending you don't need money. It means shifting your focus from the money itself to the value you can create. When you focus on creating value for your employer, your customers, your community, the money tends to follow. It's a natural consequence of doing great work and making a real contribution. Think about it this way. Money is a result, not a cause. It's the result of providing value, solving problems, meeting needs. When you shift your focus to these things rather than the money itself, you set yourself up for greater success and satisfaction. This approach also helps you develop a long-term perspective. Instead of just thinking about your next paycheck, you start thinking about your career, your personal growth, your legacy. You invest in yourself, you take on challenges, you push yourself to learn and improve. All of these things make you more valuable in the marketplace and increase your earning potential over time. Working like you don't need the money also gives you a sense of purpose and meaning that goes beyond financial rewards. It allows you to connect with the deeper reasons why you do what you do. Maybe you're in healthcare because you want to help people heal. Maybe you're in technology because you want to solve complex problems and create innovative solutions. Maybe you're in education because you want to shape young minds and contribute to the future of society. When you connect with these deeper motivations, work becomes more than just a job. It becomes a calling, a mission, a way to make your unique contribution to the world. And that sense of purpose can sustain you through challenges and setbacks, giving you the resilience to keep going when things get tough. This mindset also helps you maintain your integrity and stay true to your values. When money is your only motivation, it's easy to compromise your principles for a quick buck. But when you're driven by a desire to do great work and make a positive impact, you're more likely to make decisions that align with your values and ethics. Now, let's be clear, and like you don't need the money doesn't mean you should tolerate unfair treatment or undervalue your worth. On the contrary, when you focus on the value you create rather than just the paycheck, you become more aware of your true worth. You're more likely to advocate for yourself, to seek out opportunities that match your skills and potential, and to negotiate for fair compensation. This approach can also lead to greater job satisfaction and overall happiness. When you're not just working for the weekend or the next payday, but finding meaning and purpose in your daily tasks, you're likely to experience more joy and fulfillment in your work. This positive attitude tends to spill over into other areas of your life, improving your relationships and overall well-being. Working like you don't need the money also encourages continuous learning and growth. When your focus is on doing your best work and creating value, you're naturally motivated to keep improving your skills, staying up to date with developments in your field, and taking on new challenges. This constant growth not only makes you more valuable in your current role, but also opens up new opportunities for advancement and career development. Another benefit of this mindset is that it can help you handle setbacks and failures more effectively. When your self-worth isn't tied to your paycheck, you're better equipped to view failures as learning opportunities rather than personal catastrophes. You can take risks, try new approaches, and bounce back from setbacks with greater resilience. This approach can also lead to more creativity and innovation in your work. When you're not constrained by a narrow focus on financial rewards, you're free to think outside the box, to experiment with new ideas, and to pursue innovative solutions. Some of the most groundbreaking innovations in history came from people who were driven by curiosity, passion, and a desire to solve problems, not by the prospect of financial gain. Working like you don't need the money can also improve your relationships with colleagues and clients. When you're genuinely invested in doing great work and creating value rather than just collecting a paycheck, you're more likely to collaborate effectively, to go the extra mile for your team or your customers, and to build strong, positive relationships in your professional life. This mindset can also help you maintain a better work-life balance. When you find meaning and satisfaction in your work, you're less likely to feel the need to completely separate your work life from your personal life. Instead, you can integrate them in a way that feels authentic and fulfilling. You're not just working to live. You're living your values and pursuing your passions through your work. Now, you might be wondering, how do I start working like I don't need the money when I actually do need it? It's a fair question, and the answer lies in gradually shifting your focus and priorities. Start by reconnecting with the reasons why you chose your current career or field in the first place. What excited you about it? What impact did you hope to make? Remind yourself of these motivations regularly. Next, look for ways to add extra value in your current role, even if it's not explicitly required. Can you streamline a process? Mentor a colleague? Suggest an improvement to a product or service? These small acts of going above and beyond can help shift your mindset from what can I get to what can I give? Invest time in developing your skills and knowledge, even outside of work hours. Read books related to your field, take online courses, attend webinars or conferences. This investment in yourself will not only make you more valuable in your current role, but will also open up new opportunities in the future. Seek out projects or responsibilities that align with your interests and strengths, even if they don't come with immediate financial rewards. The experience and satisfaction you gain from these endeavors can be invaluable for your long-term career growth. Practice gratitude for the opportunities your work provides beyond just the paycheck. Perhaps it allows you to use your skills, to interact with interesting people, to solve challenging problems, or to make a positive impact in some way. Focusing on these aspects can help shift your perspective. Set goals that go beyond financial targets. Perhaps you want to become an expert in a particular area of your field, or to mentor a certain number of colleagues, or to contribute to an important project. These non-financial goals can provide motivation and satisfaction that complement your economic needs. Remember, working like you don't need the money doesn't mean you should ignore your financial realities. It's about changing your primary focus and motivation. You still need to be practical and ensure your basic needs are met. But by shifting your mindset, you can find greater fulfillment, achieve better results, and often, ironically, end up in a stronger financial position as a result. This approach to work can also have a profound impact on your personal life. When you're fulfilled and energized by your work, rather than drained and frustrated by it, you bring more positive energy to your relationships and personal pursuits. You're more likely to be present with your loved ones, to engage fully in your hobbies and interests, and to contribute positively to your community. Working like you don't need the money can also give you a greater sense of control over your life and career. Instead of feeling at the mercy of your paycheck, you feel empowered by your ability to create value and make a difference. This sense of agency can be incredibly liberating and motivating. It's important to note that this mindset isn't about working yourself to the bone or sacrificing your well-being for your job. In fact, it's quite the opposite. When you work like you don't need the money, you're more likely to set healthy boundaries, to prioritize self-care, and to create a sustainable work-life integration. You're working from a place of passion and purpose, not desperation or greed. This approach can also help you navigate career transitions more effectively. If you find yourself in a position where you need to change jobs or even careers, having a mindset focused on creating value rather than just earning money can guide you to more fulfilling opportunities. You'll be more likely to seek out roles that align with your skills, values, and interests, rather than just chasing the highest salary. Working like you don't need the money can also foster a sense of abundance rather than scarcity in your life. When you're not constantly worried about money, you're more likely to be generous with your time, knowledge, and resources. This generosity often comes back to you in unexpected ways, creating a positive cycle of giving and receiving. This mindset can also help you stay motivated during tough times. Every career has its ups and downs, its challenges and frustrations. But when you're driven by a sense of purpose and a desire to do your best work, you're better equipped to weather these storms. You can focus on the aspects of your work that you can control and find satisfaction in doing your best, even when external circumstances are challenging. Remember, working like you don't need the money doesn't mean you won't face difficulties or that every day will be perfect. There will still be tasks you don't enjoy, colleagues who are difficult to work with, and days when you feel frustrated or unmotivated. But this mindset gives you a broader perspective that can help you navigate these challenges more effectively. It's also worth noting that this approach to work can have a ripple effect on those around you. When you approach your work with enthusiasm, dedication, and a focus on creating value, you inspire others to do the same. You become a positive influence in your workplace, raising the standards and improving the culture for everyone. This mindset can also lead to more authentic and meaningful networking. Instead of approaching professional relationships with a "what can I get" mentality, you'll be more focused on how you can contribute and collaborate. This genuine approach tends to create stronger, more mutually beneficial professional relationships. Working like you don't need the money can also help you stay relevant in a rapidly changing job market. When you're driven by a desire to learn, grow, and create value, you're more likely to stay ahead of trends in your industry, to adapt to new technologies and methodologies, and to remain valuable in your field over the long term. This approach can also lead to a more optimistic outlook on your future. Instead of worrying about job security or the next paycheck, you're focused on continually improving your skills and expanding your capacity to contribute. This focus on growth and value creation gives you confidence in your ability to succeed, regardless of external circumstances. It's important to remember that adopting this mindset is a journey, not a destination. It's something you practice and develop over time. There may be days when you struggle to maintain this perspective, and that's okay. The key is to keep coming back to it, to keep reminding yourself of the deeper reasons why you do what you do. As you continue on this journey, you may find that your definition of success begins to change. Instead of measuring success purely in terms of salary or job title, you might start to consider factors like the impact you're making, the relationships you're building, the skills you're developing, and the satisfaction you're finding in your work. Working like you don't need the money can also help you maintain your enthusiasm and avoid burnout. When you're connected to a sense of purpose and focused on creating value, you're more likely to find your work energizing rather than draining. This doesn't mean you won't get tired or need breaks, but it does mean that your work can be a source of fulfillment rather than just a source of stress. This mindset can also help you make better career decisions. Instead of just chasing the highest salary or the most prestigious title, you'll be more inclined to consider factors like alignment with your values, opportunities for growth and learning, and the potential to make a meaningful impact. This can lead to a career path that is not only financially rewarding, but also personally fulfilling. Remember, working like you don't need the money doesn't mean you should stay in a job that truly undervalues you or takes advantage of your dedication. It's about finding the right balance between being driven by purpose and ensuring that you're fairly compensated for the value you create. If you consistently deliver exceptional value but find that it's not being recognized or rewarded, it may be time to have a conversation with your employer or to seek opportunities elsewhere. This approach to work can also help you develop a stronger sense of self-worth that isn't tied to your income or job title. When you're focused on creating value and doing your best work, you can take pride in your efforts and accomplishments regardless of external validation. This internal sense of worth can be a powerful source of confidence and resilience throughout your career. Working like you don't need the money can also lead to more innovative problem solving. When you're not constrained by a narrow focus on financial rewards, you're more likely to think creatively, to challenge assumptions, and to come up with novel solutions to problems. This kind of innovative thinking is increasingly valuable in today's rapidly changing work environment. This mindset can also help you build a personal brand based on excellence and value creation. In today's interconnected world, your reputation often precedes you. When you consistently approach your work with dedication and a focus on creating value, you build a reputation that can open doors and create opportunities throughout your career. It's also worth noting that working like you don't need the money doesn't mean you should neglect your financial planning. In fact, this mindset can complement sound financial management. When you're focused on creating value and developing your skills, you're investing in your most important asset, yourself. Combine this with wise financial planning, and you can create both professional fulfillment and financial security. As you embrace this mindset, you may find that it influences other areas of your life as well. The principles of focusing on value creation, continuous learning, and pursuing excellence can apply to your personal relationships, your hobbies, and your community involvement. You might find yourself approaching all aspects of your life with more intentionality and a greater focus on making a positive impact. Working like you don't need the money can also help you stay motivated during periods of economic uncertainty. When your primary focus is on creating value rather than just earning a paycheck, you're better equipped to adapt to changing circumstances and find opportunities even in challenging times. This approach can also lead to a more fulfilling retirement, whenever that may come. If you've spent your career focused on creating value and pursuing excellence, you're more likely to have developed a strong sense of purpose and a diverse set of skills and interests. This can make the transition to retirement smoother and more satisfying. Remember, adopting this mindset is not about denying the importance of financial security. It's about changing your primary focus from the money itself to the value you can create. When you shift your focus to value creation, you often find that financial rewards follow naturally. It's a subtle but powerful shift that can transform your entire approach to work and life. This mindset can also help you develop a stronger sense of resilience in the face of setbacks. When your self-worth isn't tied solely to your paycheck or job title, you're better equipped to bounce back from professional disappointments. Instead of seeing a setback as a personal failure, you can view it as an opportunity to learn, grow, and create even more value in the future. Working like you don't need the money can also lead to more authentic leadership. If you're in a position of leadership or aspire to be, this mindset can help you focus on serving your team and organization rather than just advancing your own interests. Leaders who are driven by a desire to create value and make a positive impact tend to inspire greater trust and loyalty from their teams. This approach can also help you stay motivated during routine or less exciting tasks. Even the most fulfilling jobs have their share of mundane responsibilities. But when you're focused on the overall value you're creating rather than just the task at hand, It's easier to maintain your motivation and give your best effort, even to less glamorous aspects of your work. Adopting this mindset can also lead to more meaningful goal setting. Instead of focusing solely on financial targets or career milestones, you might set goals related to the impact you want to make, the skills you want to develop, or the value you want to create. These types of goals can provide a deeper sense of purpose and motivation. Working like you don't need the money can also help you maintain a growth mindset. When you're focused on creating value rather than just earning a paycheck, you're more likely to see challenges, opportunities for learning and growth. This perspective can help you continuously evolve and adapt throughout your career. This approach can also lead to more fulfilling collaborations with colleagues. When you're focused on creating value and doing your best work, you're more likely to seek out and appreciate the unique contributions of others. This can lead to more innovative solutions and a more positive work environment overall. Remember, working like you don't need the money doesn't mean you should ignore market realities or undervalue your skills. It's about finding the right balance between being driven by purpose and ensuring that you're fairly compensated for the value you create. In fact, this mindset can actually put you in a stronger position when it comes to salary negotiations, as you'll be able to clearly articulate the value you bring to your role. This approach can also help you navigate career transitions more smoothly. If you find yourself needing or wanting to change jobs or even switch careers entirely, a focus on value creation can guide your decisions. Instead of just looking for the highest salary, you'll be more inclined to seek out opportunities where you can make a meaningful contribution and continue to grow. Working like you don't need the money can also help you develop a more entrepreneurial mindset, even if you're not running your own business. When you're focused on creating value and solving problems, you're more likely to spot opportunities for innovation and improvement within your organization. This proactive approach can make you an invaluable asset to your employer and can open up new opportunities for advancement. This mindset can also lead to a more balanced view of success. Instead of measuring your worth solely by your income or job title, you might start to consider a broader range of factors. Are you making a positive impact? Are you continually learning and growing? Are you using your skills and talents in a way that feels meaningful? These questions can lead to a more nuanced and fulfilling definition of success. Adopting this approach can also help you maintain your passion and avoid burnout. When you're connected to a sense of purpose and focused on creating value, your work becomes more than just a means to a paycheck. This deeper connection can help sustain you through challenging times and keep you engaged over the long term. Working like you don't need the money can also lead to more authentic networking. Instead of approaching professional relationships with a "what can I get" mentality, you'll be more focused on how you can contribute and collaborate. This genuine approach tends to create stronger, more mutually beneficial connections in your professional network. This mindset can also help you stay relevant in a rapidly evolving job market. When you're driven by desire to create value and solve problems, you're more likely to stay ahead of trends in your industry, adapt to new technologies, and remain valuable in your field over the long term. Remember, adopting this mindset is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when it's challenging to maintain this perspective, and that's okay. The key is to keep coming back to it, to keep reminding yourself of the deeper reasons why you do what you do. Working like you don't need the money can also help you develop a stronger sense of work-life integration. When your work is aligned with your values and you're focused on creating value, the line between work and life becomes less rigid. You might find that your work energizes and fulfills you in a way that positively impacts other areas of your life. This approach can also lead to more innovative problem solving. When you're not constrained by a narrow focus on financial rewards, you're more likely to think creatively, challenge assumptions, and come up with novel solutions to problems. This kind of innovative thinking is increasingly valuable in today's rapidly changing work environment. Working like you don't need the money can also help you build a personal brand based on excellence and value creation. In today's interconnected world, your reputation often precedes you. When you consistently approach your work with dedication and a focus on creating value, you build a reputation that can open doors and create opportunities throughout your career. This mindset can also help you navigate economic uncertainties with greater confidence. When your primary focus is on creating value rather than just earning a paycheck, you're better equipped to adapt to changing circumstances and find opportunities even in challenging times. Adopting this approach can also lead to a more fulfilling retirement whenever that may come. If you've spent your career focused on creating value and pursuing excellence, you're more likely to have developed a strong sense of purpose and a diverse set of skills and interests. This can make the transition to retirement smoother and more satisfying. Working like you don't need the money can also help you develop a stronger sense of empathy and understanding for others in your workplace. When you're not solely focused on your own financial gain, you're more likely to consider the perspectives and needs of your colleagues, clients, or customers. This can lead to better teamwork, improved customer service, and a more positive work environment. This mindset can also help you make more ethical decisions in your work. When your primary motivation isn't financial, you're less likely to be tempted by shortcuts or unethical practices that might offer short-term gains but compromise your integrity or the well-being of others. Adopting this approach can also lead to a greater sense of gratitude in your professional life. When you're focused on the value you're creating and the impact you're making, rather than just the money you're earning, you're more likely to appreciate the opportunities and experiences your work provides. Working like you don't need the money can also help you develop a more strategic long-term perspective on your career. Instead of making decisions based solely on short-term financial gains, you'll be more inclined to consider how your choices align with your overall career goals and personal values. This mindset can also lead to more meaningful professional development. When you're driven by a desire to create value and excel in your field, you're more likely to seek out learning opportunities that truly enhance your skills and knowledge rather than just pursuing credentials for the sake of advancement. Remember, working like you don't need the money doesn't mean you should tolerate unfair treatment or undercompensation. It's about finding the right balance between being driven by purpose and ensuring that you're valued and rewarded for your contributions. This approach can also help you develop a stronger sense of self-reliance and confidence in your abilities when you know that your worth isn't tied solely to your paycheck, but to the value you can create in any situation. You become more adaptable and resilient in the face of career challenges. Working like you don't need the money can also lead to more authentic and fulfilling client or customer relationships. When your primary focus is on creating value and solving problems, rather than just making a sale or meeting a quota, you're more likely to build trust and loyalty with those you serve. This mindset can also help you maintain a sense of humility and continual learning. When you're focused on creating value rather than proving your worth through your paycheck or title, you're more likely to remain open to new ideas, feedback, and opportunities for growth. Adopting this approach can also lead to a more positive outlook on your work and life in general. When you're driven by purpose and focused on making a positive impact, you're more likely to find joy and satisfaction in your daily tasks, even during challenging times. Working like you don't need the money can also help you develop better time management skills. When your focus is on creating value rather than just putting in hours, you're more likely to prioritize tasks effectively and use your time in ways that truly matter. This mindset can also lead to more creative and unconventional career paths. When you're not solely driven by financial considerations, you might be more willing to take calculated risks, explore unique opportunities, or even create your own role that aligns with your skills and passions. Remember, the goal of working like you don't need the money isn't to ignore financial realities or to work for free. It's about shifting your primary focus from the money itself to the value you can create. This shift in perspective can lead to greater fulfillment, better performance, and often, ironically, to greater financial success in the long run. Adopting this mindset is a powerful way to take control of your career and find meaning in your work. It's about being proactive rather than reactive, focusing on what you can give rather than what you can get. It's about seeing your work as a calling rather than just a job. So as you go forward in your career, challenge yourself to work like you don't need the money. Focus on creating value, solving problems, and making a positive impact. Pursue excellence for its own sake. Be driven by purpose rather than just by paycheck. You might be surprised at how this shift in perspective can transform not just your work, but your entire life. Remember, success isn't just about what you achieve or acquire. It's about the person you become in the process. By working like you don't need the money, you can become someone who is constantly growing, constantly contributing, and constantly finding new ways to make a difference in the world. This journey won't always be easy. There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But by staying connected to your sense of purpose and focusing on the value you can create, you'll have the resilience and motivation to overcome these obstacles. So go forth with courage and determination. Approach your work with passion and purpose. Create value, solve problems, and make a positive impact. Work like you don't need the money, and you might just find that you've unlocked the secret to a truly rich and fulfilling career.